it feel good to have this truck back into my possession, into my driveway? But it's been gone for like a month, so let me explain. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in, and welcome back to the cab of the Cummins. I've missed this truck honestly so much. I missed it more than I thought I would. It's been out of my life for like, I don't know, 3, maybe 4 weeks. I really haven't been counting, and I finally got the truck back, so I want to update you guys on what has been happening, why I have not had the truck, so on and so forth. So like I said, feels good to drive the truck. However, I have to drive the truck like a grandpa because I am in, once again, a 500-mile relearn. I feel like I've been driving this truck in relearn forever. But either way, I've been still having transmission issues. And a couple of videos ago, I explained how I got my transmission fixed with all the RevMax parts and how awesome it's been. Well, literally like a day after I made that video, I had another issue. So that's kind of what I'm going to get into here now. So, cycle back to September 2022, had the first P0765 code. Listen to that engine brake. P0765 shift solenoid D. That was the original issue that I had on the truck. Threw me in a limp mode, locked me out of my 5th and 6th gear overdrives, and all that shenanigans. If you haven't seen the video, I'll link it up here in the top and also in the description below. But either way, cycle 6 months further, I guess, I finally scheduled in and bought all the RevMax parts to hopefully fix the dreaded solenoid pack issue. Ordered a whole new billet valve body, deep pan, thermal bypass, did a whole new, filter kit, all this fun stuff, and also bought a OEM solenoid pack, which was like $700 or $800. I forget what it was at the top of my head. Either way, took the truck up to MDDP, or Mark DeCola Diesel Performance in Butler, PA. Awesome guys, by the way. Highly recommend them if you have any diesel performance needs, I guess, if you will. And they did the install. They did all the RevMax stuff, valve body, whole 9 yards. It was awesome. Had it done in like 2 days. I picked the truck up, did actually like a 700-mile relearn just about, and had 0 issues. And that's when I filmed the latest video of like everything getting fixed. I will also link that video up here or in the description below if you want to see it. Either way, 700 miles, no issues. It was awesome. Until I hook up to my very first trailer to deliver down to Virginia Beach. It's like an 800-mile round trip here, there, and back. Probably, I mean, it wasn't even a heavy trailer. It was a 22-foot, 14K car hauler with, I don't know, it weighed like 4,000 pounds empty, 4,100 pounds. Nothing too crazy or heavy at all. I was in tow haul mode, and I'll get to the reason why that's relevant here in a second. I'm 55 miles into my trip, and boom, check engine light, threw me into limp mode, locked me out of 5th and 6th overdrive. The same scenario happened. I had to cycle the truck, clear the code, all that fun stuff, and I was pretty upset at that point. Well, reset it, get going again, and I'm at like 135 miles into my trip, and boom, it happened again. This time it was like P0765 or something, or 76, whatever. It was P07 something for shift solenoid B. So that's the first time I ever got a shift solenoid B code versus a 6, 7, whatever, versus a D. And at this point, I was really upset because I spent like $3 grand on all the RevMax parts, like $800 on a solenoid pack, and I'm like, dude, this didn't fix the problem. But either way, I was pretty upset and honestly worried because I had an 800-mile round trip, and I can't have this happening every 50, 70 miles. So the weird thing is I took the truck out of tow haul at that point for some reason, and I drove my entire remainder of the trip without any issues. Now, what I did not do, and what I probably should have done, is put the truck back in tow haul somewhere closer to home to see if it would throw the code. Either way, along my journeys, I called the guys at MDDP, explained to them what happened, and they were like, yo, bring the truck back up, we'll get it taken care of. So, took the truck up when I had a chance to, and the guys at MDDP, super helpful. They were going back and forth with RevMax a bunch on possible issues, what happened, this and that. They traced every single wire, everything was good. They pulled the pan again and made sure everything was, tight and dandy and everything was good. Either way, RevMax kind of came to the conclusion and said, hey, not saying it's not our fault, but also it sounds like it's probably a tuning issue. So the guys at MDDP called me and said, hey, what do you want us to do? Sounds like, you know, they're saying it might be a tuning issue. Let us know. So I actually had a trip going up from work. I was driving like for 18 hours. So I figured, hell yeah, I'll call everybody I know that knows more about diesel trucks than I do, because let's be honest, I'm pretty new to it. And literally 10 out of 10 people, I didn't really talk to 10 people, but just an example, 100% of the people I talked to agreed and said, you know what, that sounds like it's probably tuning. Which sucks, because I spent $1,000 on tuning and there's no longer support because the tuner is gone. So either way, called the guys at MDDP, said, hey, literally everybody agrees that it's probably a tuning issue. I'll just take the truck back and I'll figure out my own tuning, because once again, like I said, the tuner that I use through MDDP is no longer, so I can't get any support. So pretty much my $1,000 tunes are useless at this point. So they did say, though, they wanted to do like the full PI relearn that RevMax did suggest to do, since they have not actually done that yet. And honestly, I could have had my truck back probably 2 or so weeks ago, but they had 2 other Cummins trucks in the shop that also were going to need a PI relearn. So they asked if I wanted to wait, and honestly, I wasn't in any big hurry. I said, yeah, absolutely. So might as well wait till all 3 trucks are ready to get the relearn done. Do all 3 trucks, then I'll come pick mine up and I'll figure out my own tuning. So that's exactly what we did. So all 3 trucks got done. They all got relearned. And so I picked my truck up. I'm like 100 miles in, shifting, and everything seems to be fine. I haven't had an issue since. However, I do need to start working on getting different tuning supposedly, and hopefully that will fix the issue. So either way, I do have some other tuners in mind. Some of my friends that I was talking to that know way more about diesel trucks than I do suggested a different tuning company, and I'm probably going to go that route here in a little bit, and I'll keep you guys updated when I do. So definitely not too happy I spent like 800 bucks on a solenoid pack that I didn't need. Not too happy that I spent $1,000 on tuning that is no longer useful, and I can't get updates for it to hopefully fix that issue. But it is what it is. Everything in the diesel community is now illegal, so we're kind of all on our own, and it's all trial and error. And unfortunately, that trial and error costs a lot of money. So either way, quick update. Don't want to bore you guys. I did want to give a update, though, to let you know what's been happening with the truck, because my truck people have been seeing nothing but Corvette videos, and they're like, where the hell's the truck video? So truck's back in my possession. I'm going to work on tuning here in a little bit, and we'll get all that stuff figured out, of course, and I'll keep you guys up to date along the way. So, and then real quick, huge shout out to all the guys at MDDP, or Mark DeCola Diesel Performance. Literally none of this has been their fault. So like, they've actually been awesome through this entire process so far of trying to help me figure out why the truck keeps going into limp mode and throwing the code. So like, those guys have been super helpful, super awesome through this entire process. Like I just said, none of this is their fault. So I hope none of this came across as like blaming them, because they did absolutely nothing wrong. This is my truck from the get-go. The tuning that I have from my truck, you know, started this entire thing. So this has nothing to do with those guys. So thank you. If anybody needs an OEM solenoid pack from a 19 and up 2500 Cummins with a 68 RFE transmission, the best transmission they make, shoot me a DM. I have one, and I have a pretty good deal on it for you. It has like 22,000 miles on the pack. So either way, that's all I got for you guys today. Like the video, subscribe, join the family if you haven't already, and peace.